After being transported to Limbo Dimension in the last volume, the X-Men find themselves caught between an army of demons being controlled by Dormammu, whilst meanwhile another mutant has appeared. The Stepford Cuckoos are forced to boost the younger X-Men's confidence to help them fight off the demons. Elsewhere, Maria Hill decides to hire a mutant consultant to help S.H.I.E.L.D. understand mutants better. She surprisingly hires Dazzler. Doctor Strange receives a visit from Magik to tell the story about the X-Men fighting the demons in Limbo. As she watches the X-Men fight these demons, Magik proceeds to take drastic actions. The X-Men then return home, shaken up by the event. Fabio demands to be taken home. Thus, Emma and Cyclops return him to his home. The X-Men then regroup with Cyclops revealing the team needs to be trained. The young mutant is confronted by the police, leading to him being shot at by them. The X-Men, however, rescue him just in time. Cyclops and Magneto discuss Magneto's recent act as a double agent, with Magneto reaffirming his actions are to solely benefit mutant kind. Fabio comes out to his family about being a mutant, prompting a very confused family to want to take him to the hospital. However, Dazzler arrives at Fabio's door, asking for information about Cyclops. However, things quickly escalate when Fabio's father aims a gun at Dazzler, forcing her to take action. Meanwhile, the X-Men train to harness their powers, but are alerted to San Diego's local news, where the team learn about Fabio being captured. Fabio is interrogated by Dazzler, who demands to know where Cyclops is. Cyclops and his X-Men transport to the S.H.I.E.L.D. Hellcarrier, where the team takes on S.H.I.E.L.D. and Dazzler to save Fabio's life. Later, Dazzler is taken out by mysterious means. Magneto and Maria Hill talk, with Maria threatening to terminate the deal they struck. Magneto feeds Maria Hill information and then joins the X-Men at a peace rally. However, the peace rally is then attacked by a Sentinel. Going on a complete negative is a bit bad, but the art in this comic, art in Volume 2, really does bother me. In issues 6, 7, 10, and 11, the art style of being used is quite hard to see, and it's quite hard to tell what's going on. And I don't mind artists expressing a different art style, but I didn't like the choice of artwork that was being used. I like the artwork that is used in every issue apart from the ones I've mentioned, and tell what's happening in those scenes. And if I was reviewing this separately, I actually enjoyed 8 and 9 better because I could understand what was happening in the story. And unfortunately, certain key events that happened in 6, 7, 10, and 11 are quite key to understanding what's going on in the story. So, obviously they're quite important. And unfortunately it was sort of ruined because I couldn't see what was happening. It doesn't have like any tie-ins. Because I find in I found in the last one that a lot of the tie-ins were clogging down the book. And this is free from all of that. This story can tell us what it wants to tell. And it's going in a direction which I really like. Dormammu is a villain I don't know a lot about. I saw Doctor Strange, and the art that they used for Dormammu is really weird. He looks really goofy and really funny. As opposed to a villain. He just looks really weird. Which isn't a good thing, I think. I mean, when I think Big Scary Demon, I think of Big Scary Demon. And, they did not portray that with Dormammu. He looks like a gingerbread person. One of the things that I did not like, that they did with the Limbo section of the art, was they introduced, Doctor Strange halfway through, cutting the narrative completely. Basically, Magic talks to Doctor Strange, but it's a different set of narrative. Like, it's from her perspective, and in issue 7, it was not in Magic's perspective. So when you read it in volumes, it reads very weird. Cyclops decides to train all of his students and prepare them. And what I liked is that each member of the team is getting stronger in using their abilities. Especially the new students. And I really, really liked that. I really liked the fact that they're training these students. In Volume 1, it was established that everyone is training together, and I really felt that in this story. That this is a group of mutants training together, putting all their resources to a common goal. Maria Hill seems to acknowledge the fact that she has a crisis on her hands. Like, ever since Avengers vs. X-Men, mutants have become the forefront of a lot of the main problems for S.H.I.E.L.D. And in this volume, we see Maria Hill taking a more active role in finding Cyclops and putting an end to his revolution. And she's sort of at the same time seeking to understand what mutants want. And she hires Dazzler of all characters. Like, of all characters to have, Dazzler would not have been my first choice to sort of be ahead of a mutant task force. I'm not sure who I would have put in place of her, but Dazzler just seemed like a very strange character to put in. And again, like Dormammu, I don't know a lot about Dazzler. I know obviously that she was a pop star. She dated a character called Longshot. And she was on an X-Men team in an Uncanny X-Men. But that's all I really know of the character. And she has some very, very fun moments. But she did come off as a very generic S.H.I.E.L.D. character. And that did slightly bother me. Dazzler actually mysteriously gets knocked out, and very, very interesting. And I like that S.H.I.E.L.D. is watching mutants closely, because let's face it, S.H.I.E.L.D. should be watching over all superhuman activity anyway. So why would you not watch mutants? Magneto's intentions are still unresolved in this volume. And I get the feeling he resents Cyclops a little. And seems to now have a vision of where he wants mutants to go. But he's still filling that mental role for Cyclops. I am gonna give this volume a 2.5 out of 5. I just felt like it had really bad art. The story doesn't mesh very well together. And that is partly with the art as well. Like, the art does not help this comic. And again, it didn't mesh very well. There are parts that I like I liked the team aspect of the story. It's very funny and has an interesting twist to the story. But the story just didn't mesh. It was sort of broken up into 3 separate arcs. There's no transition between the Limbo section of the volume and issues 10 and 11. And it's sort of very, very scattered. Thank you very much for listening to me. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I shall hopefully be back for another comic book review.